right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Less than 2 hours until Memorial Day, and our region is ready to honor the fallen. The group effort to place 250,000 flags today.
Balmy breeze. It's brought us great weather so far this week, and how much warmer for Memorial Day.
Tonight, your local lawmakers sounding off on gun control.
We have to be coming to the table with ways to mitigate 18-year-olds buying these guns and walking into schools. My side's not doing that.
As the president touches down in Texas to meet with grieving families after 19 children and 2 teachers were gunned down. First, we start with breaking news out of Clayton, where there has been a large police presence for the past 2 hours. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki joins us live with an update on what's happening. Holden.
Well, and there are now 3 Clayton police officers sitting outside of the St. Louis County Juvenile Detention Center, where it's believed that 2 young men escaped earlier this evening. Now, details in this case have been slow to emerge, but this is what we can tell you at this time. Clayton police are actively searching for 2 teen males. They're 15 and 17 and roughly 5'6" to 5'7". We actually observed a number of officers around the Shaw Park area, and I'm told a canine officer was actually brought in to try and track those teens, but ultimately that dog lost their scent. At this time, officers are still actively searching this area, so if you see anything out of the ordinary or have any information that might help the police, you are being asked to call 911. Reporting live in downtown Clayton, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
A windy and mild night across St. Louis after a warm Sunday afternoon. This Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer, and Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell says it's really going to feel like summer tomorrow. Great weather coming up.
Yeah, we're headed towards 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon for our high in St. Louis. And it looks like as we head towards Tuesday, it gets even warmer and even more humid. Right now, we're still in the mid to upper 70s in St. Louis. So we're staying mild tonight. That's largely due to that breeze that we've endured all day long. Gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour out of the south. Nothing on the radar scope close to St. Louis. But you look back to our north and west, there are signs of change across parts of Nebraska into South Dakota. Some stronger thunderstorms up that way, and that eventually becomes our next weather system. But it's not happening through tomorrow. So that means it's breezy and mild overnight. We have good travel weather for those of you traveling tomorrow, with the exception of far northwest Missouri late in the day. And the increase in humidity, you'll really start to notice it tomorrow and especially into Tuesday. We'll get into more of that and the chances for storms coming up in just a bit.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden visited Uvalde, Texas today. The president served as counselor-in-chief for the community and the nation, coming to grips with the shooting massacre inside an elementary school that left 19 students and 2 teachers brutally murdered. The first couple laid flowers at the memorial outside of the school. Then they attended a mass and met with the victims' families and survivors. People in the crowd had a message for the president. The president there responding, "We will." In the wake of the tragedy, some bipartisan voices in Congress are talking about gun reform. Some of the loudest voices are coming from Illinois.
I can't say for certain, but I can tell you I sense a different feeling among my colleagues after Uvalde.
There are people taking these guns, these ARs, under the age of 21. Can we stop all of it? No. Can we mitigate it? Certainly, and we should be doing that now.
Senators from both parties will meet virtually this week and hope to have a bill ready to vote on by next week. People filled the pews Sunday at Peace United Church of Christ at the corner of East Lockwood and Plant in Webster Groves to do more than just send out thoughts and prayers. Church members held a vigil today for both mass shooting victims in Buffalo, New York and Uvalde, Texas. Reverend Dr. Wendy Bruner called on people to take action.
My challenge for people today was that we need to get out to vote. We need to talk to our friends and get them out to vote. We need to help register people to vote. We need to educate people about the gun laws or the lack of gun laws in Missouri.
The congregation placed 31 pairs of shoes down the aisle and lit 31 candles for each life taken. They also gathered items most kids carry to school to make people feel what is lost and encourage them to act. Tonight, the Justice Department is investigating the police response to the Texas school shooting. According to a DOJ spokesperson, the review is intended to provide a fair, transparent, and independent account of what happened on that day. On Friday, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety said police made the wrong decision by waiting to confront the gunman. An East St. Louis couple says they won't stop until they identify their son's killer. The 31-year-old was gunned down outside of his home 2 years ago tomorrow. 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings shows us how his family is remembering him 2 years later.
I wouldn't wish this pain and heartbreak on anyone.
Latasha and Paul Stewart back on Bond Avenue in East St. Louis for the second year to be a voice for their son. 31-year-old Gregory Stewart was gunned down here on Sunday, May 30th in 2020, where flowers, photographs, and teddy bears sit as the family desperately pleads to the public. Now, witnesses told police that a fight broke out here, shots were fired, but they didn't say exactly who might have killed Stewart.
We know there were several people out here. They know what happened to my son.
The FBI has reported that approximately 40% of the nation's homicides go unsolved. This family's confidence in law enforcement is sinking.
Deep down in my heart, I feel like the Illinois State Police is not doing nothing, because I haven't spoke to them but one time, and that's the time when they came to my home and told me there's nothing they could do.
Today, their community gathers to pray.
Where we going?
Stewart's 4 children releasing doves, getting support from people like Skylar Parnell, who also lost a son to a gun. Now channeling her anger and heartbreak through her organization, Families of Gun Violence.
You can't heal properly because it's constantly happening. And it's like it's all over again, your child losing it all over again. Even though it's not your child, but you relate to those families because you were once them.
Marching with a message
that the people, the community, will come forward with enough information so that these murderers can be held accountable.
So that this family can get the relief they've been looking for.
Answers and closures so that we can start our healing process.
Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
If you know anything that could help out in Stewart's case, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 866-371-TIPS. You can remain anonymous. It's been a busy and dangerous weekend at the Lake of the Ozarks. Tonight, the Missouri State Highway Patrol tweeted these pictures of a capsized boat. This happened near Lake of the Ozarks State Park at Grand Glaze. Troopers say that boat was going too fast. It hit rough water and rolled. 3 people were hurt, but we're told those injuries are not life-threatening. And tonight, a Chesterfield man is being treated for serious injuries after his boat capsized. It happened this afternoon in Cornet Branch Cove, which is near the village of Four Seasons. The 40-year-old man was airlifted to the University of Missouri Hospital. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, a day to remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Today, the Boy Scouts of Greater St. Louis continued a tradition that dates back nearly 3/4 of a century. They placed American flags at each of 257,000 grave markers at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. It took more than 3,000 Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and other volunteers less than 2 hours to complete that mission.
This is the highlight of their year. They really look forward to coming out and being part of this ceremony and putting the flags on the graves.
Tomorrow, Jefferson Barracks will hold a Memorial Day ceremony at 10 a.m. There will be tram service from Sylvan Springs Park throughout the day. Earlier this morning, the Boy Scouts fanned out across the area, placing flags at the graves of veterans buried in Jewish cemeteries. They decorated more than 8,500 graves. The Scouts were assisted by the Jewish War Veterans Post 644. There are several events on both sides of the river taking place tomorrow. Downtown Belleville is holding a Memorial Day parade and ceremony that gets started at 10 a.m. At 11 a.m., a ceremony and concert will take place at the Soldiers Memorial Military Museum. And at 1 o'clock, St. Charles County will hold a Memorial Day program at Veterans Tribute Park in Weldon Spring. Wrong number, right target. Text messages asking for your help. We verify why you shouldn't respond. Bug off. Summer means swatting those pests away. The best insect repellents to enjoy the great outdoors, bug-free.
Shower and thunderstorm chances, they're ramping up for us after the long holiday weekend. We're tracking when those chances ramp up and where the greatest threat for severe weather will be.
The husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is out of jail tonight after posting bail of $5,000. Paul Pelosi was arrested just after midnight on 2 counts of driving under the influence. The arrest happened in Napa County, California. According to the police report, the 82-year-old had a blood alcohol level over the state's limit of .08. Tonight, 5 people are dead. 4 others are hurt after 2 boats crashed in Georgia. One man now faces a charge of boating under the influence. It happened yesterday on the Wilmington River, that's near Savannah. The bodies of 3 missing boaters were recovered this morning, and the injuries of those hurt are said to be minor. It's been a frustrating holiday weekend for air travelers. Tonight, many are stranded or delayed. Since Friday, thousands of flights have been delayed or canceled. Airlines are blaming bad weather and staffing shortages.
I've never had anything remotely close to this. I asked them at the service desk why the flight was canceled, and they said, we don't have crew.
The TSA says nearly 7 million air passengers have taken to the skies so far this holiday weekend. That's up 25% from last year. Airlines now have thousands fewer employees than they did before the pandemic. And at St. Louis Lambert International Airport today, there were only a handful of delays and cancellations. We stopped by the main terminal just a few hours ago, where there was a small but steady crowd catching flights out of town. Many air travelers are wondering if this chaotic start to the summer travel season is a preview of the months ahead. Compounding frustrations, the average cost of a ticket is nearly $400. That's a 28% increase from 2019. Surging jet fuel prices and demand are driving those higher fares.
At what point do people say, enough, I'm going to change my plans and not go anywhere? That remains to be seen.
To avoid headaches at the airport, experts say to book early, avoid checking bags, and be flexible with your timeline. Scammers, they are always trying to find new ways to separate you from your money. Our Verified team found the newest tactic involves text messages addressed to the wrong person. Here's Brandon Lewis.
Over the past month, I've gotten text messages addressed to Uncle Mike, inviting Jessica to a musical, and offering condolences for my parents' passing. But none of them are real. And as that banner shows with my name, they weren't addressed to the right person. It turns out I'm not the only one getting these fishy texts. Several Verified viewers also sent us similar messages and are wondering if it's a scam. So let's verify. Are scammers posing as people who are texting the wrong number? Our sources are the Better Business Bureau, the Federal Communications Commission, and the Office of New York's Attorney General. All of our sources say, while it could be an innocent mistake, these texts are more likely a new take on an old scam. One method is a version of a romance scam. The BBB warns it starts with someone trying to follow up on a date or a dating app match. Once the victim responds, the scammer tries to get them to provide their credit card information to join an adult dating website. The other method is to pose as a professional or to follow up on an in-person meeting, like a vet with information about a pet or an invitation to a musical. Once you respond saying you have the wrong number, the Office of New York's Attorney General says it tells the scammer they've reached an active number. This, in turn, leads to more unwanted messages trying to trick you into giving out your personal information. So, yes, scammers are posing as people who are texting the wrong number. The FCC tells Verify the safest thing you can do is simply not respond to unexpected messages, even though some of them may pluck at your heartstrings. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What can we verify for you? Reach out, email us, verify@ksdk.com. You have one more chance to take part in a Memorial Day weekend tradition. St. Louis County Greek Festival at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church in Town and Country is celebrating its 40th anniversary. Church volunteers are feeding customers traditional cuisine. Because of the rising COVID cases, the festival made the decision to keep this year's event curbside again. Customers can order online and drive up to the church to pick up the meals. The festivities will last tomorrow. It's from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. And let's get back to Scott talking about gorgeous day today. We're going to repeat it tomorrow, but you are also tracking some possibility
All of a sudden,
storms.
I want some baklava here.
Oh, delicious. Yes.
Yes. All right. Hey, how about that sunset tonight? Wasn't it pretty? We had some high clouds off to the west of St. Louis. Warm day. It's been a bright day. If you like today, tomorrow it's going to be even warmer. It'll be a little more humid. We hit 87 degrees today. Our morning low was 65. So when you put that into the scheme of things, a little bit warmer than usual, but because our wind gusted to about 34 miles per hour today at its highest gust, you really didn't notice the humidity was creeping back in. Now, combination tonight of that breeze as well as the increase in humidity is going to keep temperatures up just a little bit. There's a live look up in Florissant right now, 79 degrees in North County. We don't have any rain really close to St. Louis at all. We do have the high clouds spinning in here from the west. You have to travel a little bit getting back up here into Nebraska. Got some pretty good cells here north of Interstate 80. They are moving northeast. This is not immediately headed towards us, but this is the weather system that eventually is going to be sliding our way. And since we're ahead of it for the next couple of days, that means we keep the flow out of the south, we keep the warmth, we keep an increase in humidity in play for the next couple of days. Chicago 76, Columbia 79, Kansas City still 81 right now. In downtown St. Louis, we have a mostly clear sky. Lambert's at 79, Dew Point 60 right now. That'll inch up a little more tomorrow. No rainfall today for the year. We're pushing that 20-inch mark. All right. Clear skies for the most part tonight, other than a few high thin clouds. A relatively warm or mild night, mid to upper 60s outlying areas, near 70 in town. Tomorrow for Memorial Day, it looks very bright. We'll have a few high clouds from time to time. Breezy again, maybe not quite as windy as what we saw today, but still a pretty stiff breeze out of the south. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. The only rain tomorrow should be farther north and west of St. Louis, just by the evening hours getting into far northwest Missouri, but that becomes the next weather maker as we head into Tuesday. So we'll start Tuesday morning with a good deal of sunshine, clouds on the increase. As we head into the late afternoon and evening hours, we're turning our attention north and west of St. Louis for the potential of some stronger thunderstorms trying to develop. We think by the time things really get going in the metro area, it's more of a heavy rain threat, if that, and then it tends to fade a bit as we head into Wednesday morning. With the severe weather threat off to our north and west, it looks like by the time those storms can get into St. Louis here Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, we've lost the heat of the day, and as a consequence, the chance for severe weather is relatively low for St. Louis. You got to travel more towards Kirksville, back towards Kansas City. So a couple of really warm days here, 90 for your Memorial Day, but a lot of sunshine tomorrow, still breezy, more humid Tuesday, if not steamy in the low 90s. Then our shower and storm chance here as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. Should dry out for the end of the week. And Ann, of course, Frank's talked about it a lot this week. NASCAR, you might have heard of it, coming to town next weekend.
That is going to be a big deal.
Yes,
and looks like we're going to have storms possibly.
There's a small chance on Sunday, but it doesn't look like it would be a wash.
All right, Scott, thank you. The annual Folds of Honor campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, is now underway. From now until July 4th, you can round up at the register. The money raised provides scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and wounded service members. Five on Your Side is a proud partner of the Folds of Honor campaign. 'Tis the season for biting bugs. We put insect repellents to the test, the products that will keep you bug-free this summer. Bug season is here, which means you'll need a good insect repellent to protect you from bites. But not all repellents can get the job done. Consumer Reports has tested more than 50 products to find out which ones will let you enjoy the great outdoors bug-free. Here's Mike Bush.
Insect repellent sprays, lotions, and wipes. CR has put them all to the test, which meant having willing panelists stick their arms into cages filled with 200 disease-free mosquitoes after having a standard dose of repellent applied to their skin. But of course, the insects that might bite you aren't necessarily disease-free.
With cases of mosquito and tick-borne diseases on the rise, it's crucial to protect yourself.
Take Lyme disease. The CDC estimated that 476,000 cases occurred each year between 2010 and 2018, up nearly 45% from the decade prior. But not all repellents offer adequate protection.
Our testing paints a pretty clear picture. No matter the brand or what kind of repellent you're using, products made with 25 to 30% DEET worked the best.
Two repellents CR recommends: 3M Ultrathon Insect Repellent 8 and Ben's Tick and Insect Repellent Wilderness Formula Pump. Both excelled in protecting against mosquitoes and ticks. No matter which repellent you choose, to be effective, it has to be applied properly. Follow the directions on the label and use a thin coat on all exposed skin. You can also spray on top of your clothes, but don't apply under your clothing. And don't let children apply their own bug spray. Instead, spray onto your hands, then rub onto the child's exposed skin and face. Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
If you prefer not to use DEET, Consumer Reports also recommends some repellents made with 20% picaridin or 30% oil of lemon eucalyptus. It's the hottest item at a summer cookout, the billions of hot dogs Americans will consume over the next 3 months. More than 30 roller hockey players skated their way into the Guinness Book of World Records this weekend. They played for 48 straight hours, and that beats the previous record by 11 hours. It was all to raise money for Make-A-Wish. More than $65,000 was raised. That's enough to grant wishes to 7 local kids with critical illnesses. After a 2-year hiatus because of the pandemic, the Cherokee Caravan returns tomorrow. Parts of historic Cherokee's Antique Row will be lined with booths of antique and art dealers. There will also be food trucks and entertainment. The Cherokee Caravan runs from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Summer grilling season is now officially underway. And what would a cookout be without hot dogs? According to a survey by the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, 73% of Americans believe a summer cookout is not complete without links on the grill. From now until Labor Day, Americans will consume 7 billion hot dogs. That's 818 hot dogs consumed every single second, Scott.
I'll tell you,
7
there's
billion.
nothing like a ballpark hot dog either. And the Cardinals at home opening up a new homestand tomorrow with the Padres as they come to town. So 1:15 tomorrow, 6:45 Tuesday. Think both of those games are just fine. Wednesday, we may have to navigate some scattered showers and storms, but the next couple of games going to be on the toasty side.
Thank you, Scott. That is all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Today in St. Louis begins at 4:30 a.m. Michelle Lee joins the Tissel team tomorrow. And right now, it's time for Sports Plus with Frank Cusimano.